Hello, ladies and gents, boys and girls, people of all ages, sexualities, and identities, and welcome back to another Doctor Who review. And today's Doctor Who review is none other than the Beast of Orlok. So, what is the Beast of Orlok about? Well, essentially, the Doctor and Lucy Miller land in Germany. And they discover a Baron and a kind of high official have been attacked on a carriage in the middle of the German forest. The Doctor and Lucy then go forth to investigate with the help of a young student who they don't know is related to people from outer space. And essentially, the Doctor and Lucy soon discover that the Baron isn't quite what he seems. It turns out that he set the Beast of Orlok onto the carriage on purpose because people were getting too close to his secret. The Beast has been known to be in this forest for a very long time. However, it turns out that all the numerous attacks are all an attempt in which the Baron has been trying to get to a young woman's two children. The two children were invented on a separate planet. It turns out that on this planet they had been built as kind of weapons, but seems as they have become more than that, they've begun to build a life for themselves. The Baron's experiments were completely outlawed on his home planet, and this is exactly why his own people have come down to not only maybe retrieve the children, but to save them from the inevitable doom of what could happen if they become like the golems. The Doctor, discovering what the Baron has done, is then hung by a chain and almost dipped inside a vat of acid. Meanwhile, Lucy and a young boy named Hans end up running around trying to make sure that they don't get captured by the golem. Elsewhere, it turns out that Hans' sister has gone off and bumped into a fortune teller, which she doesn't realise is one of her own people from another planet and another galaxy. The Doctor then has a conversation with the pair of them's mother about why the Baron is so off. She then points out that it's the fact that he's not blind. And when they ask why, she says because she blinded him herself. Then she tells the Doctor a story about a couple years ago when she found the two babes in the forest. It turns out that the children had landed in the forest and the Baron had come looking for them. Well, not the real Baron, of course, because he was dead. But the Baron who had taken his place had come looking for them. When she found out that he intended to hurt the children, she hid them as far away from him as possible, in hopes that they would never come into contact. However, she didn't realise the consequences of this when the Baron went round the town, cutting up people looking for the children. The Doctor then discovers as well, previous to this, the fact that it turns out the Baron has been using the bodies and mutilating them to create golems. Now, these golems are unthinking creatures that no matter once you've destroyed the initiative, they will not stop. They are relentless and they will keep going until their task is complete. If you get in the way and try and countermand their agreement, they will just kill you. The Doctor is then almost crushed under rubble when he manages to finally defeat the Beast of Orlok. Luckily for the Doctor, Lucy remembers the fact that in the beginning of the story he had joked about a lever on the TARDIS that would mean that if he was in trouble, that Lucy could come and save him. However, when she turns up to save the Doctor, she does bring him out of the rubble, but she screams in his face about the fact that it wasn't a blue lever, it was a green lever. The pair of them then joke and say goodbye to Hans and his sister once and for all and decide to go off for another trip in time and space. So, what did I think of The Beast of Orlok? It's a very good story, don't get me wrong. But I do feel like it's that kind of generic Mary Shelley crossed with just barbarism sort of story. And for that reason, I feel like it's not as great as some other stories out there. I do like the joke about the Black Forest Gatto and Frau and just all the kind of references to German history and muskets and stuff. I like the fact that there's a lot of history lessons taught in this. However, do I really like the plot of the Baron and that? Not really. I feel like the Golem, yes, is interesting. The people falling to Earth, yes, is interesting. However, they remind me of many other stories of Doctor Who I've listened to. And sadly, for that reason, I've got to give The Beast of Orlok a 6 out of 10. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next Doctor Who review. Until then, stay beautiful and have an incredible night, you beautiful people.